Hi everybody, I'm Randy Haveson. I'm the founder and executive director of the Hero House, the higher education recovery option. We are a sober living program specifically for college students. We have locations in Atlanta and we recently opened in Southern California. We have men and women's programs in both locations. First, I'd like to thank New Directions for Women for this opportunity to be here and speak to you today. And the topic that I've chosen to talk about is how to transition back to college successfully once you've entered into recovery. I watch a lot of people who go back to school after being sober for a little while and they fail miserably. So I want to give you some tips on how you can do it successfully so that when you do go back, it lowers the anxiety and helps build your confidence in order to be successful. When I started the Hero House 5 years ago, one of the things that I found as I was interviewing treatment centers, a lot of them were saying, we don't like our residents or our clients to go back to college too soon. We find that they don't do well. And it was amazing to me that these treatment centers were discouraging people from actually going back to college. And what I realized is what was happening is people would go back to college and they'd go with that mindset of, I've missed so much time. I have to take 18 credits my first semester back, or I have to get right back into my major, and they take organic chemistry and advanced calculus in their first semester and would fail miserably. So one of the things that we do at the Hero House is we help people to ease themselves back into a college setting. You know, recovery is number one, and it's important to stick with the number of meetings you've been going to, calling your sponsor, working the steps, doing the things that you do, and adding college to that routine and slowly making that a part of your routine. So what we suggest at the Hero House, and what I suggest to anyone going back to school, is that in your first semester only take 1 or 2 classes and ease yourself back into it. Don't worry about, I'm going to be behind another semester. That's not the important part. The important part is learning how to balance the recovery and the education. So take 2 classes, and my suggestion is take 1 fun class and 1 class that might be a little challenging for you. So maybe take a history class and creative writing, or take an anthropology class and a music appreciation class. You know, find something that's going to be fun for you to do so that when you sit down to study, it's not going to be a chore, you're actually looking forward to it. Some other tips that I give to our residents is, number 1, I know that everyone who's been to college and hasn't done well sits in the back of the room. That tends to be the place where most people hang out when they're not really paying attention, when they're not really doing the things that they need to do for themselves successfully academically. So what we tell our residents, sit in the first 2 rows of the classroom. That way you're more engaged with the professor. We also tell them, don't be a ghost in the classroom. Make sure your professor knows your name. The first day of class, go up to the professor either before or after class, introduce yourself, shake their hand and say, hi, my name's Randy and I'm really excited to be in your class. Thanks for being here, or whatever it is that you want to say that's comfortable for you. But introduce yourself to your professor and let them know who you are, and that's going to really help you later on. That's going to be the difference. If the professor is debating, do I give this person an A or a B or a C, you're going to get the higher grade if that person knows who you are and you have a connection with the professor. So make sure you talk to them. Make sure you go in for office hours. If there are any questions you have about the material that's being presented, go and talk to the professor. They want to know that you're not just another social security number sitting in their classroom, that you're someone who really cares about the subject matter. You are an actual student. So go in there and talk to your professor and find commonalities that you have, music or things that they talk about in class. Engage the professor. You know, they're teachers because they enjoy teaching people. So let them know that you're an eager student, and you're going to be amazed at how much better you're going to be doing with your academics. At the Hero House, by teaching these tricks and some of the other things that we do, our typical GPA any given semester is 3.2 to 3.5. And these are for students and residents who came to us, and the joke I usually use with people when they get to us, for the most part, our students, when they get to us, usually their BAC is higher than their GPA. But we like to help them to turn that around. We like to help them to learn that yes, they can be successful in school. And a lot of people come to us with very low confidence, very low self-esteem when it comes to their academic performance. And that's why by easing them into it, you know, we might pull them from a 4-year college and put them at a 2-year community college in their first semester, just to kind of ease them back into it, like putting the training wheels back on the bike. So they learn their balance point and learn how to go back to school and be successful. And it's amazing how many times we'll get students who started out saying, well, You know, maybe I'll go into being a teacher, maybe I'll be an auto mechanic, or maybe I'll be you know, and they just choose these random things. But once they get into school, you know, we just had a student in our program a little while ago. He said, yeah, maybe I want to go into psychology, I'm not really sure. And in his first semester with us, he pulled a 4.0 GPA. And he came to me and said, you know what I really want to do, what my dream has been, I want to go into pre-med. And it blew us away. It's like, absolutely, let us help you do that and learn how to take those classes in order to be successful. If you want to be a doctor, we're going to help you to do that. So we have dozens of stories like that at the Hero House, where we've taken people who have very low confidence and we help them to build those skills to be successful in their academics and successful in their recovery. You know, one of the things that I love talking about is our success rate at the Hero House. You know, we recently did a study and we found that of all the people who've graduated the Hero House program, 80 to 85% of them are sober today. And I love that fact. I love talking about these people who came in and they're just learning how to get sober, and they really want to go back to school, but they're not sure how to do it. And we help them with that. And a lot of what we do at the Hero House is based on self-esteem and self-confidence, and helping to raise that and helping them to feel like, wow, you know what, I can do this, and to watch them shine. And at the Hero House, once you're a Hero House graduate, you're Hero House family forever. And we've had people who've come back to us a year after they've graduated and sit down with our program directors and talk about, you know, now I want to go into this. What do I need to do to make that happen? What grad school should I go to? So we help them throughout their educational process because we want to be a support to them throughout their life and throughout their careers. So anything we can do to go out of our way to help them, we're going to do it. And another unique thing about the Hero House is that our staff are not people only from the treatment field. Yes, we have people from treatment, but I also draw people from the higher education field as well. So our program director in Atlanta was the assistant dean of students on 3 college campuses before he came to us. So he brings that academic knowledge to our students in order to help them to be successful in that arena. And here in California, we just brought on a new program director. She was the assistant director of counseling and the director of leadership programs at a college back in Florida. And we brought her to Hero House so that she could teach our students how to be student leaders, how to be successful in their academics as well as in their recovery. So at the Hero House, you know, I believe that when someone's in treatment, they need to have that recovery bubble, and they need to learn how to be comfortable in that new skin as a recovering person. But at the Hero House, we're looking for those young men and women who are getting out of treatment saying, you know what, I get it. I'm an addict, I want to go to meetings, I want to get sober, but I really want to go back to school. But I'm not ready to live in an apartment on my own, and I don't really want to go back to a dorm. Where can I go in that in-between spot in order to be successful in both? And that's what the Hero House does. So we don't believe in putting our residents or our students in a recovery bubble. So some of our staff are in recovery, some of them aren't. A lot of them have higher ed training, some of them have a lot of recovery training. A lot of our recovery coaches were trained down by Synapse to be relapse prevention therapists. So we provide a lot of good balancing and a lot of life skills for our residents to teach them how to be positive and productive members of society. And I'm just thrilled with the work that we're doing, and my staff is amazing, and our residents are doing really, really great. And if there's anyone out there who's wanting to get back into school or wondering how to do that, you're more than welcome to contact us. If there's anything I can do to help, more than happy to do that. I have an hour-long program that I can do for treatment centers and sober livings on how to make that transition. You know, I'm only given 10 minutes here, so I'm hoping I'm giving you some snippets that might be helpful. But if you want something a little more extensive, I can help you out with that too. My email address is randy@herohouse.com, and our website is herohouse.com. I like to keep it simple, and that one seems to be pretty simple. So if there's anything we can do to be of service, to help out, we'd love to answer any questions you might have. I believe that people can go back to school right out of treatment or right into a fresh recovery program if they're given the right support system in order to make that happen. And that's what we're providing. And I want to see a lot more people in recovery, whether you've been sober for 60 days or 6 years, whether you are 18 years old or whether you're 60 years old. If you want to go back to school, I totally encourage people all the time to follow your heart, go back to school, get an education, start slow, and you're going to be amazed at what you're going to be able to accomplish. So thank you again for this opportunity. I truly appreciate being here, and I hope to hear from some of you. So we're done. God.